Oh my
Welcome
God,
to All Things NLEs. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
I forgive you, Manny.
So sorry.
It's okay.
So sorry to all the viewers. Am I that sorry to Caden? Slightly less than the viewers, because that might have hurt the viewers more than it
The
hurt
viewers aren't wearing studio quality headphones.
They might be.
Who knows?
You never know.
Never know.
Mr. Pierce said, man, shout out to the people behind the glass.
Shout out.
The Puro. Sam. Siggy. And Sophie.
Sophie.
Don't think I'm missing anyone.
Sam. And
I said
Siggy. We
Sam.
got 3 people
I
with
said
S in their
Sam.
name.
We have 3 S's. And then Chris is also an S. That's
Chris
the Piro's first name.
Sale.
No, Chris Sale. We'll get to that soon. All Things NLEs, we are back.
We're back. It's been a little bit.
It's been.
We haven't done a
last
show
year.
since last year.
Since last year.
There we go.
Uh-huh.
I just get to get dad jokes in.
There you go.
There we go.
January 5th, 2024. Let's go right into it.
Let's go right into it. Chris Sale is a Brave.
Chris Sale's a Brave.
I would say the first major deal for the Braves this offseason. Finally starting to put some stuff together. We knew they would at one point or another.
And we knew it was going to be starting pitching.
They've finally done it. They've signed starting pitcher Chris Sale. He is a left-handed pitcher, and he will get $38 million the next 2 years.
Yeah, they also signed him. They traded for him, and then they signed him to an extension. Because even if the Braves traded for me, they would sign me to an extension.
Of course they would.
And if they traded for Caden, they would sign Caden to an extension.
I'd get a slightly less long extension than Manny would.
You think?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how much would they give me. Like, they'd probably charge me to play on their team. Anyways, right into it. Chris Sale's a Brave. Obviously, has had a nasty prime. Like, this man, he was a bad man.
He can throw the ball very good.
47.2 career WAR. What? Approaching the 60 mark. 60s like Mendoza line for Hall of Fame.
I mean, 47 WAR is
47's pretty
good.
That's
That's 47 wins.
Yep. 3.10 ERA. 343 games in his career because he used to be a reliever. 260 start. 3 of those were starts. 12 saves in his career. He's been around. And he also closed out a World Series for the Red Sox.
He did do that. I remember that.
Great career with the White Sox. I mean, has had a couple years with over 200 innings. Few years with ERA plus 1 year of 173. Hello? Almost won a Cy Young in 2018. But then he got hurt. And as I say that he got hurt in 2018. I will say that he has gotten hurt in the past few years, hasn't been fully healthy in the past 2.5 years. So definitely a risk, especially when you consider that Vaughn Grissom is who the Braves shipped out in this deal to the Red Sox. Someone who finishes his Braves career kind of weird. He was supposed to be the shortstop last year going into spring training. Then they announced the competition. Then they announced it was Orlando Arcia's spot. And then Orlando Arcia had the spot for most of the season, pretty much all of the season. And Vaughn Grissom, 23 years old, projected starter in the middle infield, wherever he goes. Ended his Braves career with a 287 batting average, so he could definitely hit a little bit. OPS of 746. Most of that, though, was in 2022, where he performed a lot better than 2023. So I say all that to say this. We're going to give our grades for the Braves. Another thing on the deal. The Red Sox picked up $17 million of Chris Sale's contract initially. So Chris Sale signed a 5-year, $145 million deal. And Boston picks up 17 mil. Now, Atlanta, it was 27 mil. So Atlanta was going to pay him 10, and then they gave him the extension. And for this year in 2024, they owe him $16 million. So they're not paying him as much as they would have if they picked up the entire contract. What grade do you give the Atlanta Braves? And then what grade do you give the Red Sox? Because why not?
I give the Atlanta Braves a B+. I give the Boston Red Sox an A-.
Ooh.
I'm going to say the Boston Red Sox made out slightly better. Nothing too big. And, you know, we talked about this an eensy weensy bit pre-show. And I said that when you're the Braves, it's hard to make a bad trade just because you have so much money that you're able to make up for it. You know, the Braves are rich, and not only are they rich, they have no problem spending money. So I think it's quite hard for them to make a bad trade. But this one could have been a little bit better. I'll give them a B plus.
B plus, okay. And
B
then the
plus.
Red Sox A minus. Why?
A minus. You know, the Red Sox, I don't think are going to be that much of a competitive team soon, and I think that they kind of proved that with this trade, and I think this is a better trade for a more long term success than kind of going for it right now.
All right. Definitely that is the case with Boston, especially when you consider that they picked up a lot of Chris Sale's money
Hmm.
to get Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn Grissom, so he could be their middle infielder of the future.
Yep.
Story and Grissom up the middle. I actually like it a lot. Kid from the East Coast as well. He's from Florida. Going to Boston, an historic franchise where he's going to get at bats. He's going to get plate appearances. There was no room for him in Atlanta for at bats. So this is good for him. And I think it's good for Boston. I give Boston an A minus. We're actually in lockstep there. I think this is going to be their second baseman of the future. He can handle the bat. He's a very confident kid. We saw in 2022, for a moment, for like a month, he was kind of all over the highlight reel. He's a big story coming up as a rookie. And I think he's going to flourish in Boston. I actually like him a lot. I think they should have given him the chance at short. Maybe they didn't trust his glove, and they really didn't need a world beater with the bat, similarly to Michael Harris's role when he was just patrolling center, didn't really have to hit, and he didn't hit. He actually underperformed with the bat, but no one in Atlanta was like killing Michael Harris, or at least no one in the national media.
Yeah.
And Orlando Arcia, great glove. Didn't really need him to hit. He actually hit well, so that was a plus, and he never let go of the spot. Chris Sale, though, someone who has had a lot of injuries, as we just said, and he goes into an Atlanta Braves team that needs innings. Their projected rotation right now is Spencer Strider, Max Fried, Charlie Morton, Chris Sale now, and then Bryce Elder. They need innings, and to be frank, the Chris Sale doesn't guarantee that at all. Right now, I give them a C plus, and that can change. I'm for a little bit of a harsh grader there. I understand that because but I also understand the talent that Chris Sale has.
Mm-hmm.
But inevitably, all odds are that he's going to get hurt, and it's just when is he going to get hurt? Because clearly, Atlanta's not doing this for the regular season. They are doing this for the postseason, and they're not going to be able to rely on Kyle Wright this season, right now as it stands. So, where are they going to get those innings when Chris Sale, when he inevitably goes down, and when he does go down? And I don't want to say when because you don't want to like predict injury, but odds are he's not going to make 32 starts. Yeah. I would bet $1 million he's not going to make 32 starts. Not that I have $1 million, but if I did, I would, and I was able to bet, I would bet that he's not going to make 32 starts. When is he going to get hurt? If he gets hurt in September and he's out for the rest of the season, kind of similarly to this year where he made 20 starts and then he was hurt, it doesn't work for me and the Braves. If they win a World Series though, and he closes a World Series kind of like he did in Boston, then it works. What I would do if I was Atlanta to end on this, I would give him a reliever role. I'd put him in the bullpen because imagine just facing Chris Sale, funky delivery, lefty, he's nasty, ball starts behind you if you're a lefty and then ends right down the middle of the plate. Andrew Miller's style, maybe. I think he would be great in that role. Maybe avoid injury. I'd make him a reliever. I don't know what you think.
I don't know. I think at least just start him off as a starter and then see where things go from there. But I see your take there.
Now my grading could change. I'll give them extra credit points, I guess. I'll boost the grade a little bit. If they end up, I don't know, winning the World Series, he ends up shoving rotation or bullpen. Because at the end of the day, they're doing this because they want to build a dynasty in Atlanta. They want rings. And Vaughn Grissom wasn't part of the plan in the foreseeable future. Do you think the Braves, if a lot of people think this, that Orlando Arcia is going to go down in production with the bat, and Vaughn Grissom is killing it in Boston. Do you think the Braves are going to feel better?
Uh, I mean, yeah, obviously, if the trade doesn't go their way, but they're a franchise that's willing to take risks, and they're doing that here, and some are going to pay off and some aren't.
Big risk, maybe big reward. I think
We'll
it's a
see.
huge risk. Honestly, I think it's a huge
I
risk. I
I
love the
agree.
deal for Boston though. I may be A plus on. I love the deal for Boston. I really like the deal for Boston. Someone who was injury prone, didn't know what you're gonna get for him on the market. Have to eat a little bit of his deal, but I love that they're willing to sacrifice and give some money for the sake of this team and this team's future. A minus, C plus. Caden, a little more generous.
I
B
am.
plus.
We'll see how it works out, though. And that is all for today on the All Things NL East show. We will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.